What's good? It's a boy dude reviews, and today we're going to take a look at a classic anime series, Neon Genesis Evangelion. And yeah, I finally completed this series after I've been trying to get into this show, and I finally watched it. And what is it really about? Well, Evangelion Neon Genesis is a Japanese mecha anime TV series produced by Gainax and Takasunoko Productions, directed by Hideaki Anno, and broadcasted on TV Tokyo from October 95 to March 96. The cast included... I think Netflix redubbed the show and they re-edited it because I think Netflix brought the rights of the show. So Netflix officially owns Neon Genesis Evangelion, so they did redub it in a way. And yeah. Anyway, let's get back into the main aspects of the thing. Yeah, the music for the series was composed by Shirio Shaguchi. And what's the show all about? Well, Evangelion is set 15 years after a worldwide cataclysmic event, particularly in the futuristic fortified city of Tokyo 3. The protagonist is Shinji, a teenage boy who was recruited by his father Gendo to the shadowy organization NERV to pilot a giant bio-machine mecha called an Evangelion into combat with alien beings called angels. The series explores the experiences and emotions of Evangelion pilots and the members of NERV as they try to prevent any and all of the angels from causing another cataclysmic event, and as well as dealing with the quest of finding out the real truth behind the events and organizational moves. And the show went on to receive critical acclaim, but also garnered controversy. Particularly controversial were the last two episodes of the show, leading the team behind the scenes to produce the original intended version of the ending in the 1997 film The End of Evangelion. Regarded as a deconstruction of the mecha genre, the OG TV series led to a rebirth of the anime industry and has become a cultural icon. Film, manga, home video, and other products in the Evangelion franchise have achieved record sales in Japanese markets and strong sales in overseas markets, with related goods selling over a lot of money. Just a lot. Yeah. And yeah, what do I think about this show? Well, as I said before, I've been meaning to watch this show for a long time. I remember when I was starting to get into a lot of anime, and after I watched Attack on Titan, I got into Naruto, and I remember there was Fullmetal Alchemist, and I remember hearing about a show called Neon Genesis, and I looked at it, I was like, it looks okay, but it looks old, and I'm not into really old shows, to be honest with you. And it took me a while to get into the show, but here I am, and yeah. And what do I think of this show? Well, episode 1, oh my god, did I struggle to watch this show when I first watched it. I couldn't get past episode 1 because I kind of felt it was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't like the whole flow and the pacing of it, you know. I watched it in Japanese to begin with, and I watched it in English. I remember watching it in English first. Then I just kind of was like, I don't really want to continue this. Then I rewatched it in Japanese, the first episode, and still I couldn't get into it because there was so many subtitles that my brain couldn't process it. So I ended up rewatching the first episode in English again, just continuing it just to see where it goes. And I must admit, past episode 1, the show is surprisingly amazing. It's oh my god, it's a beautiful show, but very weird and very strange in a bad way at times. But we'll get to that later. But it's just, wow, is it great? And I think the main positive to take from this show is the characters, you know. You don't watch the show for the plot, because the main plot is these teenagers who have been chosen by this organization to take down these angels. The main plot is who are these angels? Why are they attacking? Why is Shinji Ikari stop doing all this to him? You have all these questions going in your head, but the thing with this show is just the characters are just so great. They're also lovable and interesting, and they all have a story to tell. Like, it's one of the it's one of those shows where every character in the show could have their own show, you know. Shinji may be the main character, but that doesn't mean that someone like Rei or Asuka could be the main character. I could easily see each and every one of these characters having their own TV show. And it's weird because they're just so well-rounded and just flipping amazing. It's kind of strange how not many shows are like that, but this show is. What I mean by like how the characters are all interesting is that how they're dealing with their own personal like traumas, you know. Many of the characters have these deep psychological traumas in relation to their parents, or well, it's mainly their parents. Like our main character Shinji, who is definitely my favorite character of the show, is a very introverted and awkward teenage boy who deals with massive social anxiety ever since the death of his mother at a very early age and the abandonment of his father. Because of this, Shinji kind of grows up feeling that he can't connect with anybody, you know. You have instances where you have people like Masato, and other characters thinking that is Shinji afraid of people, or is he not willing to give people a chance because he doesn't want to feel rejection because his father abandoned him at his age and his mother died, and you know, it's stuff like that. When people he cared about left him at such an early age, he just starts having this like feeling of abandonment, and he kind of grows up feeling like he has, you know, he hates himself and he doesn't like himself. Another interesting moment is when in the second or third episode, doesn't even like have to, he hates himself to the point where he doesn't want to defend himself like from stuff. Like the episode where Toji basically punches Shinji because Shinji was the pilot who accidentally, you know, destroyed a few buildings, and he accidentally put Toji's little sister into hospital. Like, you know, obviously Shinji had to like, you know, take the punch because he couldn't say anything else, but he hated himself for it because, you know, he felt like he was a bad person, and he deals with a lot of these inner traumas and all that, and it's really sad as well, you know. He feels like he has to impress people, otherwise his life doesn't have any meaning anymore. And yeah, it's really, really intense and just emotional. Like one of the best parts of the show was when after Toji punches Shinji, and then Shinji once pilots the you know, Ava, he is just completely conflicted by all this mental emotion that he's going through, because he's starting to feel all this guilt and he doesn't want to do this, and he, you know, he feels like he doesn't want to do this anymore. He doesn't want to, you know, make people suffer, doesn't want to make people miserable, and he just kind of quits because, you know, he just, you know, yeah, you know, and it's just so damn emotional. I could do an entire video essay on Shinji's, like, you know, mental health and all that, but I don't want this video to go on. I want to keep talking about other characters. You got characters like Asuka, who's very loud, abruptive, and kind of annoying at times. You know, when this character was first introduced, I didn't really like her. Like, I thought she was a nasty girl, you know. Like, she seems to be kind of a bully, you know. Like, she's always been rude to people, apart from that one guy who she has a crush on. But I don't know, it's like, it's really, she's kind of nasty at times, you know. For me, she's a nasty girl, but at the same time, I think she's a great character because obviously she's like a child prodigy who pilots the Avon unit too, and she does have a fiery temper, and she has this overabundance of self-confidence and self-pride which gets her into many trouble and difficulty, and it clashes her with a lot of people. And this is all due to when she was a little kid, her mother, she discovered her mother committing suicide, and because of this, she didn't know how to react, and she hated the idea of her mother doing this, you know. And, you know, she hated that, and she just started to like hold back her emotions, seeing that she would never cry. And because of this, she started to have this like ambiguous feelings towards you know, like Shinji, you know, difficulty to reach out to others, and she, you know, just really does struggle to like, you know, acknowledge people and try to accept them for who they are, you know, because she doesn't accept her for who she is, you know. What I liked about these characters is that the creator attempted to create characters that reflected parts of his own personality in a way. Then you got like a character like Rei Anayami, who's this, well, I've got a spoiler for you, but she's a clone. Obviously, yeah. She's literally the salvaged remains of Yui, and is plagued by a sense of negative self-worth stemming from the realization that she is an expendable asset. And she at one time despised Shinji for his lack of trust to his father, with whom Rei is very close to. Is another really great character as well. Like, everyone in this show is trying to like find out who they are and all that lot. And it's like, it's an interesting show because it's kind of like telling you that you don't really know someone until you really get to know them, until you really see them for who they are in a way. You've got like Misato, who's the, you know, chief commander of the Ava pilots, and she's kind of the guardian of Shinji in a way. And I like how she's always kind of like, at the beginning, she's always putting a lot of pressure into Shinji, seeing like he has to do this and all that, and how she's disappointed in him and all that. And then later on, she starts realizing that she's doing all this because she wants to get revenge on her father because of stuff in the past, and she, you know, hates the angels and all that. And all this is just for her own personal, you know, means. And she was just being selfish, and she starts to realize all that. And the show just really deals with characters and their inner turmoils and how it affects other people, you know, and how it affects other people, how it has this massive chain reaction in a way, you know, which I really liked. And moving on from the characters and all that lot, let's talk about the visual look. And the visual look, the animation, it's pretty great. It's pretty nice. Like, but I'm mainly talking about the visual look. Like, I really do like the character designs. Like, I think it looks really amazing. I really like these characters and the way they look. They all have a unique look to them. Like, no one character looks alike. They all have different like facial features, and, you know, the personality does kind of like, you know, I don't know, it is pretty great. It's a really nice looking show. I also like how they use a lot of silhouettes for this show. Like, there are times when characters are talking, and let's say they're going down an elevator, and you'll just see the silhouette of them, like, for no real reason. They could have just like had them, you know, just talking to one another. But the way the director did it, like how he made the silhouettes, and you don't see them, you just see the character silhouettes and all that lot. And I never really thought too much about it, but I always just kind of thought it would, like, you know, represent the characters, like, you know, loneliness and like their mental state whenever there was a silhouettes. Like when Shinji told Misato that, you know, he didn't want to pilot the Ava, like there was that whole sequence, we do not see Misato's face at all, and I just thought it was just hiding her true feelings, you know. Like, I just thought maybe the reason why they did something like that was because whenever they do those silhouettes, it kind of hides the characters, like their true, like, inner turmoil. And it was around about that time when we didn't really know Misato's past and all that, so we weren't too sure, you know. And then when we found out that she's doing all this and she wanted to put pressure on Shinji because she's dealing with her own inner turmoil, maybe, you know, it does, you know, the director chose to like have those silhouettes to hide a character's, you know, true, like, you know, personal, like, feeling in a way. And yeah, I thought, yeah, it's pretty cool when they do stuff like that. I think it looks really great and pretty damn amazing. Like, I do like the look of it. The colors look so beautiful in this show, and it's just really lovely, to be honest with you. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very nice looking show. Obviously it's still in the 4:3 aspect ratio, but you know, we I don't really mind that, to be honest with you. I think it looks fine, to be honest with you. I think it looks pretty nice. You know, it's a nice looking show. The music is wonderful as well. Like, it's just the end song, the opening credits, just beautiful and lovely. But as much as I like the show, there are some things that I have my like mixed feelings on. Um, it's particularly towards the finale. Like, I feel like the animations seem to like take a weird turn at times. You know, like there'll be certain shots where there is just no motion at all. Like, particularly like the finale where it's like, I think they run out of. I think their budget just ran out, and yeah, like they had to like make a new remake of the ending with that movie that I'm going to watch soon. I'll review that separately. And yeah, I just think at times in the show the animation can be a bit poor, you know. Like, I'm not talking about the look, I'm talking about the character motion, you know. I know a lot of anime is like this, you know, where there's not much motion in the characters, but in this show there are moments like that, and it's a bit annoying when the characters aren't moving as much. Also, this show has this weird editing like process where the problem I have is a main negative, and it's the way it's edited. Like, characters will be talking in like one scene, and then, you know, you'll get into it, and then it will just cut rapidly to something else, and I don't know, it doesn't have a nice pacing when it does that, you know. Or like a character's in school and they're like talking, and then it cuts to like them in like the nerve battling the angels. I don't know why it's like that in a way, but it's very distracting. There's like there could have been like a fade in, maybe a fade to black, a fade out, an established shot of nerve, and then they're in there. But it's very quick and rapid, and it's a bit off for me, and I don't really like it, to be honest with you. And yeah, obviously there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Netflix version of the English dubbing, because the Netflix version did gain a lot of like criticism because they rewrote some of like the dialogue in a way, and they changed the voice acting for the English dubbing. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what the original voice acting sounded like, but for what I saw, like, I'm basing it on the voice acting then and there. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed the voice acting. I really enjoyed the dialogue. I really enjoyed the way the character, like, I don't know, the pacing of it. Maybe there was a reason why they dubbed the audio. Not too sure why, but I was absolutely fine with it. I didn't really care too much. I thought it was really great, to be honest with you. I really did like it. I enjoyed it. I'm guessing the original company that made it says on the main Wikipedia page, following the dissolution of ADV Films in 2008, the Netflix release includes a retranslated script from the studio and a new English voice cast chosen by Kata. And yeah, I'm guessing when Netflix bought the rights, they had to alter some things because they didn't own the rights to certain things. So yeah, but for what it was, I really enjoyed it, and the show is really great. It's just those last two episodes which are really damn confusing. It's when in the last two episodes, the human instrumentality project is being completed and it's triggered, and basically the main project was to kind of synchronize everyone's souls together, and those two episodes are just, you know, the merging of the souls. You have Shinji, Rei, Misato, Asuka all struggling with their reasons for existence. Shinji especially, you know, is just discovering, you know, why he feels the way he does, and this it's weird, you know. Like, I did think the budget really just started to drop, and it was like very weirdly paced. We had a lot of flashbacks, we had a lot of very weird looking animation, but I kind of didn't really mind it. I kinda thought it was pretty cool. Like, it was, I don't know, I think it looked really cool. I really did like it. It was very nice, and it just showed you like how Shinji's trying to deal with, like, you know, his depression and him wanting to please others and him not liking himself and him like thinking that he feels like everyone hates him, but in reality he hates himself, and it projects, and it's dealing with all these like real life, you know, situations where people have these like self-doubts and, you know, loss of confidence in a way. And I love how it's all resolved in the end when he starts to realize that he has to love himself, and if he loves himself, then maybe others can start to love him. And it is, you know, it's a really nice ending in a way. It's weird because it's like one episode we're like seeing all this happening, and then these last two episodes are weird. But I know the movie The End of Evangelion is kind of a remake of these last two episodes, and I'm looking to see what that's all about. And but yeah, yeah, and that's Neon Genesis for you in a nutshell. I really did like it. Old anime does look really cool. It has, I don't know, the character designs in old anime look so much cooler than like the new ones now. Like, I don't know, and it's amazing how, you know, this was all like hand drawn in a way, no computer, no, you know, none of that. This was all handmade, you know, so you gotta really give it credit, you know. I love that theme song. I love the way the theme song is edited. It is so great. And yeah, for that, I'm gonna give this show, you know what, I think I'm gonna give it an A out of 10, and I'm gonna give it an A. It was really good, but there's just some things that are just kind of like, you know, ruined my loving for this show, you know, like the editing and the weird 2 episodes at the end. Even though it was amazing, it could have been done better, but I'll see how what the movie brings for me, you know. But thank you for watching this review. Please like and share this video and comment down below and tell me, what's your favorite anime series? What's your favorite episode from this show? With that said, thank you for watching, and as always, Spoiled Review signing out.